You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 115. Today is July 6, 2024, and today's guest is my turntable slash friend. Or wait, turntable slash friend? Yeah. Mike. What's up, Mike?
What's happening?
Not much, man. It's been a minute with trying to get you on the podcast.
Busy guy.
We've been talking years in the making.
Busy guy, and I was always a little, reserved. I had some reservations about coming on and talking about some stuff because I didn't trust what I might say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
you did say multiple times when we were talking about you coming on the podcast, you did warn me, and you did say, like, you know, the stuff that you were talking about, and you were goofing off, you're being funny, you're a funny guy. And that's what my wife's like, who's coming over to the house today? I'm like, Mike from right here from one of the stores on the street. And then I'm like, dude, this guy's just funny. He tried to get Nick a job, you know. So she's, oh, okay then. So, you know, no weirdos. He's just funny. And so yeah, we've been talking about this for years.
Let me rewind that for you. You said no weirdos. Definitely a weirdo.
Oh well, yeah, but not a weirdo where I wouldn't trust you around my family, around the kids.
Oh, that says a lot. Thank you. But
so,
yeah.
So it's been a while. Like I said, I ended up moving from one territory to another, so I stopped seeing you for, it's been over a year and a half now that I've been in the new territory. So
I haven't been there for 9-10 months.
Yeah, you were still there when I left, and then it's been a minute. But yeah, we've been talking since the moment you learned how to podcast. You've been wanting to come on, and so here you are today. So before I get started, I do want to say thank you. I want to say thank you because I looked up my numbers.
Yes,
I looked up the numbers for the podcast this last week, and I've received I've had 123 downloads in 1 week. That means 121 episodes were listened to in the past week. So I don't know who's listening, but I thank you. So there's that one. And then I also came across the podcast now has its own text line. So feel free if we say something and you have follow-up questions that I didn't, because I'm not a good interviewer. So if there's a follow-up question that I didn't ask, feel free to text the podcast text line. You can leave a voicemail too, but only I'll hear it. I can't even download the audio to put the question on the podcast. So you can leave a voicemail, or you can send me a text message if you would like for me to have the guest back on the podcast. Feel free to, like I said, same thing. Just you want to tell me how much of a piece of shit my podcast is, you can tell me that too.
Can we get your home address so we could send a bag of dog dookie?
No dog dookies here. I have plenty of dog dookie in the backyard. I don't need any more. Appreciate the thought though.
Hey, here really quick. While I'll do this probably through the podcast, just chime in on something.
Yeah.
And then maybe forget about it. But when was the last time you've seen a piece of white dog poop?
The movie Step Brothers.
No, I mean, but really in person.
That's it. I haven't seen one ever.
Ever?
Well, maybe when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Where'd they go? They're still dogs. How come their poop doesn't turn white anymore?
Wow.
Any questions in life that need to be answered?
If that's a question that you guys would like for us to Google for you, feel free to text the line. The number is 818-806-8595. Again, that number is 818-806-8595. And I'll probably repeat it again at the end of the podcast, so no need to rewind.
I think standard issue on a podcast would be 8 times. You just did it twice?
I did it twice. I got to say it 6 more times?
6 more times.
Damn.
And
okay.
That's just from what I've learned.
818-806-8595. Right. I'll say it 5 more times later.
Right, like 1-800-CARS for kids.
I guess, what is it? Text rates may apply. Is that what they say all the time? Text rates may apply. You can leave, like I said, a text message. You can leave me a voicemail. Again, only I'll hear the voicemail, and I can't download it. I can't post it on here. Also, I'm not really good at saying, please like, subscribe, and comment on my videos or on the podcast. I do leave relatable questions on the podcast. So when you go to Spotify and you pull up the episode, it'll ask a relatable question. How were you? Like, for example, the last episode, I think the question was, were you the middle child? And expecting somebody to be like, yeah, I was the middle child. I can relate with what your guest or whatever. And that's what the text line's for. If they can relate to my previous guest or something, or if even they want to be a guest in the podcast, find a way. If it's a lot easier, there's the Instagram, there's the Twitter, the Instagram and the TikTok page. But if this is more comfortable, then shoot me a text message and then. Not right now, Mike. Not right now.
No. I need you to tell me what that number was again. What was that?
818.
Wait, hold on. 818.
806.
806.
8595.
8595.
You can text right now. Watch. You'll see me get a text message while
Boom.
you're texting. So we got the first question of the day, guys. And I just barely put the number out there. Damn. Boom. That's all they said.
Well, anyway, now we've said that name. That number 7 times.
I've said it 4 times.
Okay, 5 times.
So we'll go later. We'll do the rest later. Again, obviously people are listening to the podcast. So I would, appreciate a like, share, subscribe, follow, hit the follow button on Spotify or iHeartRadio. I mean, I have it on multiple platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Podbean, Castbox, I think.
Hey, just smash that like button.
Smash it.
And then follow him.
Smash it and follow it.
Yep. And
then same thing for Instagram and mainly Instagram. TikTok is I just post the reels. Anyways, on to today's guest. Mike, how have you been? How was your 4th of July?
Just typical. I still have all my fingers.
I see that.
My eyebrows are still there.
I see that.
I'm good. I just, family, food, swimming, spending the next day at the beach.
Yeah, nice. I have not gone to the beach for 4th of July in a long time. Well, since I moved out here.
Yeah.
Since I moved out here. In Oxnard, I think the last time we were in Oxnard, we did go to the beach 4th of July because the naval base is right behind the beach. So that's where we saw the show. They call it the little kiddie beach. It's a little beach, small beach, no waves, and this is why they call it the kiddie beach.
Right.
And then after a certain time, fireworks go off. I actually came to a realization this past weekend and this past week that I have not physically bought fireworks or firecrackers in the last 10 years. So last Friday, we volunteered. My wife and I volunteered at the fireworks stand that they have for the school. The boys have a band. They're in the band. They're in the marching band.
Right.
So they have a fireworks stand. And once everything gets paid off pretty much, like the fireworks, the permits and everything, then the school gets, commission off of the profits.
Right.
And that money goes to the band. But to save cost, they need the parents to help volunteer. So we were there from Friday from 3 to 10.
Right.
Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 10. And then all week I swung by at a certain time if parents needed to go take a bathroom break, go get their dinner, whatever. And then 4th of July, we were there all day, 10 to 10. And it's a trip because I asked my wife, I thought fireworks were illegal. But yeah, the fireworks that go up in the sky are illegal, not the ones they're little fountains on the ground.
Yeah, the ones that don't make too much noise.
Yeah, the ones that they call them fountains. So we watched the safety video, and on the safety video, it showed that the fireworks that are legal, that the cops will not harass you for, have a little stamp, a little logo of like state approval. And I didn't know that. And being there made me realize, shit, I haven't bought these kids fireworks in like 10 years. And I mean, Oxnard, at least, here in Baldwin Park, La Puente, El Monte, they have fireworks stands. But in Oxnard, they had none. We had to drive like maybe an hour to the nearest town that had them, and that was Fillmore.
Yeah.
I think it was an hour drive. I know it was as a kid, it was like, fuck, are we there yet? We were those kids. Are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Every year we go to Gardena.
Uh-huh.
And we used to, as a kid, we used to go motorcycle riding. We'd go to Glamis all the time.
Right.
And it was a shit show out there. But right now I go to my girl's house, her parents' house in Gardena. And there are so many illegal fireworks this past 4th of July too. There were so many, like, neighbors were walking down the street with bags of big bombs that you throw up in the air, right? Just they shoot up 100 feet. Just walking down the street with bags of them. Hey, I got some extras. You guys want to blow these off? And we're like, sure. And it looked like fucking Disneyland. And then it shuts down and like a cop rolls through the neighborhood and all, just the fountains, right? And the kids out with their sparklers.
Yeah.
And then the cops go away, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. Well, last year the cops were called. The fire department was called because the neighbors across the street shot off some fireworks that landed in a neighbor's yard, and he had brush, so it caught on fire. So my brother Danny was in town, and 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, and my brother Danny was here, and we grabbed a water hose, and we connected two water hoses together and went across the street, and with the pressure it reached, but when the fire department pulled up, they looked at us like we were the guilty ones. Well, motherfucker, we just did the job for you. Right. We just saved you water, you know? Right. But they looked at us like we were the guilty ones. So I was like, fuck it, whatever. But like I tell the wife, what's the point of buying fireworks? Dude, every single one of these houses will freaking throw them off. I think there was back in the beginning of June, it was a video there was a video posted on La Puente Bus Facebook page of this 15-minute fireworks show. Right. Dude, 15-minute nonstop fire. It was our neighbors. It was our neighbors. So, yeah, that's we don't really. I mean, we mainly go to my sister-in-law's house and we barbecue. I think that's the year that her anniversary with her husband. So nobody else has anything planned, so we just go over there. But this year we ended up being at the fireworks stand. Well, so it is what it is. I mean, it's for a good cause. It goes to the kids, you know, like that's like they say, the more hours the parents volunteer, the less the kids' bill will be at the end of the year.
How old your son that's in the band?
Both of them, 15 and going on 17.
Oh, you shouldn't even have to show up.
Let them do it?
Yeah.
Nah, they can't be in there unless they're 18 or older.
So only if you're there.
18 or no, they can't even be in there if I'm in there.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're there to kind of like, hey, the parents need more ice. They'll go into the store. They'll go to Walmart and buy the ice. Hey, like I needed lemons. They went and got lemons, and then you know, one of the parents dropped off one of the kids.
Your 17-year-old doesn't have a fake ID yet?
No. All
right. I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know
All
a
right.
guy.
On what's that name? What's the street down in downtown LA? What's it? Alvarez, or what's that street name?
Alvarado.
It's that famous street, right? It's a famous that you know where it's at. Anyways, so no kids under 18 inside the thing. So they were there to kind of help, like, and then they made a flyer and they were walking around and showing the, you know, making noise so that people can get people's attention as they're pulling up. So they kept busy. So that was a new for me. That was an experience. Will I do it again? I have to. My kids will be in band for another 3 years, so I got to do it again.
I'd say find a different way to make money for the band. One where you could just sit down in your home and watch whatever sports is on, right? And then...
Right. So I think I'm going to advertise it on the podcast. Hey, guys, next year, Baldwin Park at the Walmart on Big Dalton, fireworks stand from 10 to 10 from July 1st to the 4th. Please go support. If you're, I had a coworker lived in Cerritos and he drove down here to buy some fireworks. So we were pretty grateful for that. Thank you, man. Appreciate your time. The drive.
You should get like a couple of 18-year-olds at least, just to get little scooters. Just deliver them.
Well, it had an option for online ordering, but no one really. I don't think anybody knew because nobody ordered.
Yeah, so but that's not delivery though. Online ordering, they'd probably have to show up.
They had to come pick it up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It is what it is, because it was an experience, and I'll probably have to do it 3 more times.
And the kids on the scooters probably get tips.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Another thing that happened this week. I was in, I call on like grocery stores and stuff. I have a grocery store where the cooler is pretty cold, so I wear one of those like heavy duty jackets, like this pretty heavy jacket, and I set it down on one of the displays while I'm writing the order. You've seen how I write orders, just go back and forth, cooler to cooler, door to door. And since I've been drinking a lot of water lately, I needed to go to the restroom, so I went to go get my jacket, and it was gone. I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So I thought maybe like the lost and found, the lady that picking up the go backs, grabbed it maybe. So I started walking towards the price verifier lady, the lady that does the pricings. And I'm like, hey, her name's Lily. Shout out Lily. Hey, Lily. And before I can finish my conversation with her, I looked on the aisle to my left-hand side, and some big homie dude, tattoos on his face, had it in his hand, in his arms. And I walked up to him, no fear whatsoever. And I'm like, hey, dude, that's my jacket. And he's like, oh, I was trying to find the owner. I am the owner. And I yanked it out of his hands, and I grabbed it back. And I went back to Lily, and I'm like, she's like, what happened? I'm like, this fucking guy was trying to steal my jacket. And then he walks out of the aisle, and he's like, I was trying to find the owner. And I'm like, I am the owner. You found him. And dude, I grabbed my jacket, and then I finished the writing the order, and I was getting ready to walk outside of the store. And that's when I wasn't scared of the guy when I took my jacket back, but I kind of got a little bit worried when I was about to leave the store.
Mm-hmm.
But what if this fool's outside? Fucking gonna stab me over a fucking jacket. Have you ever had any of those issues since you work in a liquor store business? Like issues like that? I mean, I know you've had some crazy guys here at the store, but anything like where you had to check someone for taking your shit or trying to steal at the store?
I didn't give a fuck if they stole anything.
No?
You know, if they did, I'm no, fuck it. Why would I care if they jacked a bag of chips and ran?
Yeah.
Okay, now if I could somehow de-escalate the stealing, you know, I'm gonna call the cops for stealing a beer or something. I have stopped people before and be like, dude, like I know the guy, you know, it's a local, you know, homeless or living in a garage kind of guy, and I'd be like, dude, seriously, fuck, if you need $2, all you have to do is ask, man. You know, don't get used to it, but I'll hook you up. Don't steal. Yeah, just fucking ask me. I'll hook you up. For all you know, somebody could have came in and said, here, you know, keep the change, give it to somebody you need it. And bro, I'll give it to you. Yeah, you know, I
just wasn't willing to spend another $70 on that jacket.
True. So, well, is it what kind of jacket was it?
It's something my wife we bought off of Amazon, but it's like it keeps you warm. Like when you're inside the jacket, like when you're inside the cooler, like if I were to be outside, I would instantly start sweating. So it's that good of a jacket, I guess.
Okay.
So
good for the snow, I take it.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Good for inside coolers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
all right. I hope it's a write-off for you, right?
Well, I didn't write it off, but it is what it is.
You could.
It is what it is.
Also, liquor store. You made me try and remember some stories, and I remember this one local guy. They call him Chino. Mm-hmm. Lived in his truck. Was a roofer, but just pretty much started drinking himself to death. And I watched it. I'd been there for a few years. I was watching him slowly decline. Then he came in one night, and I had my girlfriend's son worked with me. He could also run the register that comes into play later on in the story. But Chino comes into the store, grabs a couple beers, barely makes it to the counter, and can barely get the money out of his pocket. So like a good bartender, you're cut. You know? So he got super pissed off. And, you know, said some shit in Spanish, whatever. Walked out the store. And that was that. At least I thought. And then all of a sudden my car alarm's going off. So I run around the counter and I look outside and he's kicking my car.
Oh, man.
Like kicking the bumper, but like barely because he's drunk. And I go, oh, fuck. So I go behind the counter and I grab a bat. And I go outside and I didn't hit him. Didn't swing at him. Didn't even threaten like I was going to hit him. But I did point the bat at him, like at his face. Yeah. You know, kind of like, you know, who was the baseball player? Babe Ruth, right? Pointed towards, you know. And I go, you motherfucker. You touch my car again. You bother any of my fucking customers or come into the store. I'm going to fucking kill you, you piece of shit. And he was like, oh, whatever. You know, he puts his hands back. Yeah. And I walk back in. And I kind of realized, oh, shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
You overdid it.
And so I took the bat and I hit it far away. Like you would have to be like someone trying to rip the coolers out to take them out of the store if the store was ever sold to find this fucking thing now, right? Oh. It's hidden. I wouldn't even be able to get it without like some kind of contraption, like a broom with like a wire hanger on it to hook it up. But nonetheless, he called the cops. All of a sudden, this rookie cop, sheriff, kid looking, comes in. Who's the guy with the bat? And I probably should just shut the fuck up. But I said, that was me. And he's all, come with me. And he fucking handcuffs me and puts me in the car. And the whole time I'm going, I go, you better call your supervisor, you fucking piece of shit. What the fuck are you putting me in handcuffs for? And Hunter can run the register. So I was lucky there. Yeah. So that was going on right in front of the store. I'm handcuffed. I'm cursing the cop. I'm all, you dumb piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you. You got the wrong guy here. What the fuck are you putting me in handcuffs? You better get your sergeant out here right now.
Yeah.
Call your sergeant, you piece of shit. And he did. And the sergeant came in because the sergeant, and I'd been at the store a while. And, and they had come there before for other issues. Yeah, other issues. Just in the area, too, not necessarily the store. And he's like, get him out. Get him out of there. And he did. He ran. The cop ran around the car, opened the door, and got me out of the handcuffs. I'm all, you fucking piece of shit. Told you. Told you. And then the sergeant came over. Supervisor, I believe he was the sergeant, and he knew me. He'd come in there before, even off duty or whatever, to buy a big bottle for like a Christmas party.
In the couple years that I serviced your store, there was times where there was police officers in there, and they were cool, or sheriffs. They were cool.
Well, the sergeant was just like, dude, you took the bat outside. That's where it changed. Yeah. If you keep the bat inside the store, hey, you're protecting your store. But because you were the aggressor, he was kicking my car. He's like, call us. But he's kicking my car now, not in 10 minutes, right before you guys get here. Yeah. Or do I have to hit the alarm like we're being robbed so you guys can get here because he's kicking my car? And he's like, no, I just don't do that. And I'm like, and at that point I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gotcha. And he's like, okay. And then I went outside just to see what the cops, there's like 5 cop cars, and they arrested him for being drunk in public. There you go. So that was that story. And another guy came in, another one of the local deadbeats that come around there. He came in, and he goes to the back of the store. You know how the store is laid out. And you kind of walk in through the doors, walk straight to the back is where a lot of the Budweisers, Bud Lights, Modelo's, and whatnot. And he grabs one of the beers, and 2 sheriffs, a female and a male, walk in behind him, and they kind of just walk past me at the register, and they go right to him and go, hey, why were you running from us? And he's like, I wasn't running from you. What are you talking about? And he's like, he goes, no, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. No, it was you. We just followed you here. Why were you trying to get away from us? And he's all, I wasn't. And they're like, come with us outside. And he goes, no, shrugs his shoulder. And that's resisting right there. So all of a sudden it turned into a fucking 2-on-1 with this guy. Oh, shit. And they're inside the store. And the lady cop's having trouble, and the male cop's he's winning, basically. He's winning this thing. And I'm standing just there going, like, with my arms crossed, just like, what the fuck? Okay. And then they hit the glass almost hard enough to be like, ooh, that might break, right? The glass doors. Yeah. And then kind of towards the wine, almost knocked a couple wine bottles off, and then back there where where I had all my hot sauces and shit, it kind of went almost to the hallway as they were just fucking wrestling, and then they start spraying him with pepper spray, so the whole store is covered in pepper spray. The cops are even all fucked up from the pepper spray, and they can't get him down. He's like fighting them. Yeah. And finally, I'm like, oh, fuck this. I walk over there to him like calmly, and I grab him by his ankles from behind, because he's almost they're trying to get him down on his stomach, but he's fighting with his knees down. I grab him and I pull his fucking legs out from underneath him, and it just slammed him down to the ground. And he was still fighting him, and so they just beat him up a little bit. And I held his legs there.
You held his legs down?
I had to. Fucker was like tearing the store apart. The cops weren't winning. My eyeballs were bleeding, and I was like, dude, just stop fighting them. Like it wasn't like they were just gonna beat him up. They were like, let's go outside. And then he's like, fuck off. And then all of a sudden it turned into like a punch fight. And then once they got him down with my help, it was a one-sided punch fight. And the cops came, they fucking, asked me what happened on, they got their body cams on. Yeah. And they watched the videos and whatever. That was it. That was the end of it. But it was pretty exciting. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I think I came in the store like a week later after it happened, and it was like you were all fucking excited to tell me, "Oh my god, dude, you want to see the video?"
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, there's some shit like that. We never got robbed. I think because of the store. If you're familiar with the store and how long it's been in the area, how long it's been there, and the owner knows, and all the people he knows in the area, that they wouldn't touch the store.
Right. Right.
You know how the neighborhood works.
Oh, I know.
So anyway, yeah. So it was. I always felt safe working there, and everyone that came in was super cool. Never really had a problem.
Yeah, you had a couple of cool returning, like, cool customers, like the young lady that worked at the recycling center. She had a dog.
Yeah,
she'll bring her dog in
I
once
was
in a while.
risking my job for that dog.
For the dog.
I didn't care. Obviously, you can't have a dog in the store. Okay, tomorrow. Okay. Hope he doesn't look at the cameras tomorrow, because
Right.
the dog's gonna be. And then I've had multiple dogs in there.
Yeah.
That's good times.
Yes, they were. But anyways, Mike. Well, let's get to know Mike. I mean, that's the reason why you're here, right?
You're the reason I'm here, man.
Well, that too.
Yeah,
But-
I wanted to hold your hand while we do this podcast.
I'm sorry.
Thanks for doing it.
No. You see the distance between us?
Yeah. Why is it so big?
Oh my god. Typical Mike, guys. Typical Mike. But no, yeah, let's get to know Mike. I mean, that's the reason why you're here. And let's start off with some childhood stories, man. How's childhood?
Good. Well, first of all, hey everybody, my name's Mike, and I am not an alcoholic. I'm gonna put it that way. And at the end of the end of this podcast, you'll kind of understand where I'm going with it. But we'll start with that. I am not an alcoholic. I'm recovered. I'm doing well. But let's start with the beginning. My mom and my dad, they had me after they had sex.
Oh,
And what was really funny is, not funny, but funny, is my mom had hid the pregnancy because she was under 18 years old at the time. She's at 17.
Oh, okay.
She was 18 when I was born, but when she got pregnant, she was 17, so she had to hide it because my grandparents would have definitely had me aborted.
Oh shit.
Definitely. Which is fine, because my mom got to make her own choice.
Right.
And no one made it for her. Not even her parents should be able to do that. It's, if you're going to be 18 when the baby's born, it's all on you, not the parents.
Yeah.
Let alone the government. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. And that's when I was conceived. And then they divorced when I was young. Had my little sister. And my dad always was... My mom took care of me. And then I had my stepdad come into the picture for a bit. Then they broke up for a little bit and then got back together. And he's been my stepdad ever since. And I'm talking 6 years old.
Okay.
But my dad flew the coop, I guess, when I was about 4. I want to say around 4, because my sister was 2. And but he kind of stuck around, and he took us like surfing, skateboarding stuff. Kind of introduced me into a career that I chose later.
So surfing, local beach.
Oh, Newport Beach.
Newport Beach.
Yeah,
Oh, so locally.
Huntington Beach. I lived in Anaheim.
Oh, okay. So you're a local boy.
Fullerton, yeah, Orange County,
Oh,
definitely.
okay.
Orange County, man. If I could go back, I would, but I don't own a house in Newport. You gotta have 18 jobs if you're not making $1 million a year. But anyway, nonetheless, I like it where I'm at now in the mountains. But back to me, surfing and skateboarding when I was young, I just loved it. It was a release for me,
So the beach was like how would I say it?
a home away from home.
Pretty much, yeah, right. Like I used to go to the beach a lot when I lived in Oxnard, and it felt like just like my problems would float away. So I mean, you weren't thinking of problems at 8 years old, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah,
So
there's some fun times.
the ocean, like I said, I learned years after that the color blue, it just helps you like it de-stress. I don't know. Then explain why. Then I remembered that maybe explains why I spend a lot of time at the beach.
Well, there's also grounding when you're barefoot on the earth. You're grounding because you're an electrical being. You're just a big giant meat sack, potato sack of meat with bones that's full like a battery.
Right.
That's what you are. So when you're barefoot, especially at the beach with all the negative ions in the air, and like you said, the calm, cool colors, the sound of the waves, the birds, the sand between your toes, and the sparkling of the light off the ripples in the ocean. Yeah.
Every time we go home,
And
we go visit Oxnard. That's what the boys want to do. Can we go to the beach at least for 1 minute.
A nice stingray there to sting you in the foot, right? Or in the heart, like Steve Irwin.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get you good.
Yep.
My daughter's been stung by a stingray once out there. When the water warm, they come up close. They like the warm water.
So did you live your whole childhood in Orange County?
Yeah, pretty much. When I was 1, I believe we moved to Washington because my dad was in the Army.
Oh, okay.
So 1 year old for about 6 months.
Oh, no, that's not bad.
I remember. Those were the good old days.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Breast milk. Pooping whenever and wherever I wanted to.
No responsibilities.
Just cleaned it up.
No jobs. They wipe your ass for you.
I didn't even have to use my own arms to eat. Right? The good old days. Then after all that, high school was right. Junior high, high school. My mom had a boyfriend at the time, a new guy. After my stepdad now, like I said, they split up for a little bit.
Right.
This guy, Skylar, he's a surfer skater dude too, and that's all we did. We just skateboard around the neighborhood. We'd go skateboarding, but him and my mom were into some stuff that wasn't conducive to being a parent that was there all the time. If that makes any sense.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. So I kind of had to fend for myself. So I made a lot of friends skateboarding.
Okay.
So even though, my mom's super awesome, always did her best to take care of us. Her boyfriend skateboarded and surfed. So we were cool with that. And he had a car. So we'd go surfing with him.
There you go.
And occasionally I'd still surf with my dad, but he's a whole nother story. And then my friends, that was it. That's all we did. And then I got a girlfriend, which we got married later on. It's my high school sweetheart, but if I wasn't with her, I was skateboarding. Yeah. If I wasn't skateboarding, I was with her. And if I wasn't doing either one, I was trying to figure out how to go get it done. Right. And there was a passion, skateboarding and not being alone, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And then my mom moved away. It was my junior year of high school. I think she moved up north to near Lake Tahoe, Placerville, California. And I didn't go. I stayed with my now stepdad. And I basically lived in a bachelor pad. And my curfew was Sunday.
Oh, shit.
Hey, just make sure he's alive. And I still graduated high school just fine.
Okay. You didn't allow your mom's absence stop you from continuing school?
No. Okay. It was pretty much the only way I was going to be able to live where I was living. Right. My mom's ex-boyfriend's house with his 2 best friends who were brothers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it was it was still a party house. I liked to drink, watch football, play darts in the den. We had worked on the boats in the back and had pit bulls, and it was on a cul-de-sac in Fullerton. It was good.
Speaking of darts, got a brand new dartboard in the garage with the pool table.
Are you trying to tell me you want to play butt darts?
I don't know about butt darts.
Oh, I thought it was a euphemism for something.
No,
man.
No.
I was like, hey, anything once.
No. No.
Okay.
No.
A real dart? Okay.
Yeah, dartboard. Yeah.
Are you left-handed or right?
Right.
Okay, I'll still beat you.
Yeah. You probably will. I haven't played ever, so it's just there.
Oh, really? I thought you were saying you got it because you were like some.
No, I got it because I want to play. Like the garage is now like a cool little hangout spot with the pool table, darts, and like a little basketball game, or the 2-player game.
Can we pause the podcast, go set this up in there, and play darts and
that would be nice, but we need to have the microphone up to our face. So no, I don't have those kind of microphones. Sorry.
All right. Sorry. That'd be fun.
So.
Anyway, where was I?
No, first of all, I have to give out the number again. The texting number, 818-806-8595. Because this Mike says I have to give it like at least 8 times. Please like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. So skateboarding became a passion, obviously.
Yes, but I mean, if you really get into it, it became a passion. One, because I have a certain set of skills, and skateboarding happened to be one of them.
Certain set of skills. Uh-huh. you're gonna come find somebody and kill them.
it was a release, and it provided a family outside of my family, and it provided more than what my family could provide for me. Yeah. Because again, I was living at a bachelor pad basically, and I'm not joking. Make sure we see you Sunday so we know you're still alive.
Right.
Okay, all right. And I still got up every morning. They would already be at work. They left early. And my girlfriend would pick me up or I'd skateboard to school.
Okay.
Because I was a freshman when we started going out and she was a junior. So a funny fact, I got to go to all 4 proms and homecomings. Because junior and senior prom, I went when she was a junior and senior. And then she graduated and I was a junior and a senior. She went with me. We went to all 4. That was a good highlight of high school, I guess. Because we didn't really go to proms. We just went, took pictures.
Yeah.
Got some drinks, as you do. And just went out to the beach or just did shit. Back when it was, 93? So 89 to 93. That was a good time. Cops didn't really fuck with you when you're on the beach. I mean, if you were obviously doing too much, then they'd fuck with you. But we were fine.
Yeah.
Good times. Still had our skateboards and tuxedos. Who cares?
She had her skateboard too?
Oh, she could. She was more of a beach cruiser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, okay, where was I now?
So.
High school. Living at the bachelor pad. And skateboarding became a survival mechanism. It was easy for me because I was already in it. I met the right friends. My friends all did it. We all went to high school together. And after school, we'd skate. We'd skate to school, meet before school, skate at lunch together. And it was perfect. And then we all got out of high school and had to start doing real shit. So I got a job at Chuck E. Cheese and I still skateboarded. And it wasn't until I got a job. I had a kid, got a job doing a pickup and delivery of cars for a high-end detail shop in Newport Beach.
Okay.
Where basically we would go to like Newport Auto Center or private customers. But if someone trades in a Porsche or a Rolls Royce or anything to get a new car, we would go pick up the old car and detail it head to toe. Full detail so they could resell it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I was in charge of all the guys that would go and pick up cars. I was lucky enough to be, after about a year, I was in charge of picking up all the fun cars for myself.
Oh,
the other guys, yeah, you go get that BMW. I'm going to go get that $600,000 Rolls. We just cruise like 3 miles back to work all slow. Take the long way.
Hey, you fucking Jim Carrey. Hey, where's it?
That funny story, that too. I drove all the way up to Brea, which is near where I grew up, right, in Fullerton. And I drove from Newport in the little tiny Geo Metro.
Yeah.
Right? Because that was our chase car. And I drove all the way to Brea, picked up an Acura NSX. Have you seen those before? They're real low. They're really sporty. They look almost like a little mini Lamborghini. They're kind of shaped like that kind of sports car. Now, Acura NSX, if anybody looks them up or knows what they are, they're pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cheap version of a nice sports car. And I was driving down the 57 freeway on my way back, and someone that I recognized from high school looked over at me on the freeway, and they're like, Mike, is it, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey, throw the head back and take off. That was funny. But also another, while I was working there, I would stop by this guy who had a half pipe. He's a friend of my brother's. He had a half pipe, and he grew weed in the backyard, and I would take my lunch breaks. But I'd always go and pick up a car and be like, hey, I'm going to stop at, Burger King or whatever. They didn't mind. The customers were like, knew their cars were safe at this place. They were definitely insured. But I would stop and take a couple bong rips and skate, eat some food, and then go back and drop the car off and then continue working for the day. Well, this guy thought I was fucking rich. One day we were all sitting there. I just came over in my Chevy truck or whatever, and we were just hanging out in the backyard skating and stuff. He's all, dude, did you buy all those cars? And I'm like, no. He's all, I thought those were all your cars, man. I'm like, no, I work for a detail shop down the street, and we pick up and deliver cars, but I just stop at your house on my breaks in those cars. He's all, fuck, I thought you were loaded. You're like showing up in like $90,000 lifted trucks and like sports cars, Beamers, Mercedes. But that was fun. Again, skateboarding was involved with that, but my brother, Frog, shout out to Frog. Shout out, Frog. What up, Frog? He's going to listen to this, so definitely.
He needs a text, too.
You are the gayest motherfucker I've ever met.
I don't know you, Frog, so I don't have an opinion.
Well, let that sink in, Frog. Well, anyway,
You're a dick.
when we ended up graduating and we started martial arts. That was fun. That's a whole nother story. Many years of martial arts, getting the shit kicked out of me by my sensei because we wanted to be taught for real. That's another story. But Frog had a skate park from one of his bosses where at a roller rink. He wanted to open a skate park, so they built the skate park. This skate park kind of started us into the getting more serious. And we were always serious. We always loved it. We knew people that were sponsored. We wanted to be sponsored, and we were good enough to start getting into the skateboard scene. And then we got the skate park. Frog ran it, and we helped him with it. And that, for about a year or so, we were doing that skate park in Orange. It was Stewart's Extreme Skate Park. And then Vans, the shoe company, came to Frog, and they were going to open up an indoor skate park. It's costing millions of dollars to open up this indoor park at an outlet mall. It was a outdoor mall. It's now an outlet mall, and a 10,000 square feet with retail space, skate shop, and the skate park.
Yeah.
So they hire him to be the manager.
Oh, okay.
So I lied on my application, said I ran a skate shop before, which I didn't. But the guys at the skate shop, I skated for them. So they're like, we got you. Yeah. So when they called and they said, oh, yeah, he's been working here years. He's good. He knows what he's doing. I didn't. I mean, I knew all about skateboarding, and I know how to put a board together. That was all the easy stuff, but I didn't know any back end of running a skateboard shop. And I had to do all the ordering. Hey, my speaker went out on this side. Is that normal?
I'm assuming.
All right. Nonetheless, I really...
You sound fine on my end on both sides.
I just winged it.
There you go.
And that seemed to work out, but it was huge. It was like it was like Disneyland for skateboarding. Because, all the mall moms and the soccer dads, they would show up with the kids, and they started asking skateboard lessons. And at this time, I started skating.
How old were you at this time?
24.
24? Okay.
24. 23. 24, 25.
And by now you've been skateboarding for what?
Right.
And 20 years already?
No.
Almost?
Well, I started making it a lifestyle. 14.
Oh, okay, 14.
13,
so 10
14 years. Yeah.
We got 10 years then.
And we had sponsors like skate shops, and Vans kind of picked us up as like a flow.
Okay.
Like we're not going to pay you, but here's 3 pairs of shoes a month because you're repping us. You work at the park,
right?
And you're good enough. I got by. I was as good as I wanted to be. Some people would say.
Okay.
I could just cruise around the park, or all of a sudden you'd be like, "Whoa, where'd that come from?" And so people started coming in asking if we did skateboard lessons, and the park didn't do it at the time. So I said yes. I get off at $5.25 an hour, and people went, "I'll take 4 hours," and they'd give me like $100, and I'd be like, "This is cool." So I started doing it, and
as a side hustle.
As a side hustle. And it was easy because they'd come into the park, they'd come to the skate shop, buy a whole new board so their kids could have an experience. But the park didn't offer lessons yet. They do now, but at the time they didn't. And I was like, new board? I'm your skateboard instructor. I get off whenever.
Yeah.
And I'll see you then. And people would show up, and I would, teach kids how to skateboard in the park.
At 24 years old, man.
It started booming all the time. My brothers started doing it. We go to other skate parks too. My brothers started doing it. Then we started offering birthday parties. So we built ramps, put them on a trailer, go to your house and do a birthday party, skateboard birthday party.
No shit.
We would do up to 20 kids, and we'd have 3 instructors, and we would load up all the ramps, unload all the ramps, skate with the kids for like 2 hours. And then a half-hour takedown, get paid, bounce to the next party.
Oh, no shit.
Or a school demo. And all that came to a nice little turning point in my life where I approached a lady. She was probably my age or so, mid to late 20s. And I was like, hey, I teach skateboard lessons. Here's my flyer. If you know anybody, or do you have any kids? Trying to just shoot the shit. And she's like, No, but thank you. That's awesome. My husband skates too, and I think she threw that in there because she thought maybe I was hitting on her.
Yeah.
But I was really just trying to make some money. And about a week later, her husband calls me and says, hey, I got your flyer. My wife was talking about how you teach kids and stuff. Can you give us a lesson?
I'm like husband and wife.
Husband and wife. I'm like, hell yeah. So I did. I taught them. It was just the basics. They kind of knew how to skateboard already, but they wanted to get a little more familiar on the board. And I said, that's pretty much practice. You got the basics, blah, right? And then he calls me a couple days later and goes, can we have lunch? I want to talk to you about something. I have a friend that wants to meet you. And I was like, fuck is it? What? Yeah.
How do we go from skateboarding to I have a friend that wants to meet you?
Yeah. And,
kind of weird.
And it's a business proposition type thing. And I was like, cool, yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah.
So I meet him, and turns out him and his buddy both work for Interscope Records. One's a contractual lawyer, so he's up in the upstairs, and he knows everyone. He's got like gold and platinum, whatever records in his office that he signed did the contracts for these artists. Very famous. And then the other guy is on the new media department, and mind you, this is 2001.
Okay.
2002, maybe 3, give or take. But nonetheless, so he did all this stuff when the internet was new and they were putting music on. He would put music out there that was just a 10-second loop of the song.
Okay.
So people think they're getting, a Linkin Park song, Linkin Park. And he'd put it out there for anything that was Interscope Records. Yeah. It would just be like the first 10 seconds of the song, and they loop it for 3 minutes. So he kind of did that. And then he was also in charge of, the extras on the DVDs. So you bought the movie, and then it's extras behind the scenes and the making of and all that bullshit. He was in charge of that for the band. So when you bought a CD for, say Hoobastank, he would be the one in charge of putting together the extras. So he's in charge of the guys filming everything, going on tour with the guys. He puts all those people in place. He's the top dog there. And so needless to say, they know some people. And they wanted to make a learn to skate video so that they could sell like in Walmarts and Targets and sell online.
No shit.
And so we did a full production. I wrote the script. We did a full production, full cameras, microphones, everything. Like we did all the B-roll footage, like skateboarding. They just gave us a camera. Me and my brothers went fucking skateboarding.
And you're still at 24 at this age, right? At this time, right?
A little older now.
Okay.
This is a couple years later. Okay. Because I'd already worked at the skate park for a couple years. Okay. So maybe 26 now, pushing 27. And, it also takes time to put this movie together, but we do it. We start making like a tour. We went to all the army bases. This is pretty soon after we started the Middle East War.
Right after 9/11?
Yeah, so 2002, 3, somewhere around there. And they put us on tour, and we went to all the army bases and Navy bases or anything that was out there. Then they were selling these learn to skate videos in their PXs, I think they're called, the army stores that they have on base. And so we did demos for all the kids and taught them how to skateboard. And then they went inside the store and bought our videos and stuff. And so we did that all over the this side of the United States, the western side.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
So that was fun. Texas sucks. Yeah, skateboarding in Texas was not fun.
What part of Texas?
El Paso.
Whoa. What you gotta go there for, man? Hey, man.
Yeah, that is definitely
my grandma lived in El Paso, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, there was an army base near there, and then we stopped in El Paso, and it was horrible. Yeah. That was the worst strip club I've ever been to.
Oh, that's why. Did you have Chico's Tacos?
I don't remember, but it was the only air conditioning spot that was near where we were at, and we just tried to go skate. It was like 110. It was like the wrong answer, so we're like, dude, we can get something in here. Yeah. And we thought it was gonna like, oh, cool, strip club. Nope. Oh, hell no.
And you've never been to Texas since.
Oh, I'll never go back. I couldn't wait to leave Texas. But we did that, so I stuck with them a little bit. But they knew they knew of an agency, and they knew a lot of people like in the entertainment industry. So they're like, hey, do you and your brother want to go on some auditions? I had done one other thing that I got through bands, not through these guys. It was like a Scooby-Doo like promo thing for cartoons,
Okay.
And basically I was just skateboarding around and doing tricks with Scooby-Doo gear on.
Oh, no shit.
I looked young at the time, younger than 26, 27. I looked like I was 15, 16 years old. And they even made me look young too. So I did that one first. So when I went and said, oh yeah, I have experience now. I did one promo for Scooby-Doo, which is kind of a big deal. And then I got, all my demos and stuff that I've been doing, birthday parties. I put that on my resume. And then I also got this Learn to Skate video now, and these guys are backing me up. Boom. I started getting jobs. Crystal Geyser job where I was riding a shopping cart downhill and through like palm tree streets in Santa Monica, and then we end up on the beach in Venice, and we're going through the where the Venice shops are and Muscle Beach and everything, and they're like towing us on a quad, and there's a camera guy in the back of the quad facing us, and we have ties like towing us. Three people like pretending like they're actually riding shopping carts, and they were modified. They had big wheels and brakes. That's how we could turn, because you push the right brake. It
on the
turn
shopping cart?
On the shopping cart. So they modified the wheels to be big and beefy, so we could go high speeds. I clocked, I think on one of the days we practiced Bombing Hill by Magic Mountain. They clocked me going, I think it was 32 miles an hour down
on
a hill
on
a shopping cart because the wheels were made and I had brakes. And I started going down. I'm like, all right, this is cool. These big wheels are really holding up. I'm like, this is awesome. And you just barely hit the brakes on the right a little bit. It goes right, left, right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anyway, that was a fun commercial to do. And then I got an Air Force commercial where it was played during the Super Bowl. So I made shit tons of money. But
you were on a Super Bowl ad?
Yeah, for the Air Force.
No shit.
Yeah, my brother got the call back at the skate park. I didn't. We both auditioned at the same time.
Yeah.
He got the call back. He didn't have a car. I needed a ride to the second audition, the callback. And I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking take you. Of course. We're going to another skate park, some other park in wherever it was, Norwalk or something. And so I take him there, and he's skating around. I'm skating around. They're like, all right, Sam, you're up. That's my brother, Sam. You're up. All right. Director's watching. He just wants you to do a couple laps around the skate park. So he takes off, and just because I'm me and that's my brother, I fucking take off right behind him. And he's doing his run for his audition, and I'm doing it too.
Oh,
right?
shit.
And I'm just fucking following him, like matching almost every move he's doing.
Yeah.
And the director goes, dude, like to the other guy, they told me the story. He goes, wait, who's this guy? They're like, oh, that's his brother. You didn't like his hair. So you didn't call him back. So you only called Sam back. And they're like, he's wearing a fucking helmet. He's going to be wearing a helmet. That's the guy. And they picked me. My brother still, you can bring it up about the Air Force commercial now. He'd be like, and the same frog is my other brother, Sam. He'd be like, you motherfucker. And I took him out to dinner. I took him to Del Taco.
What's the least you can do?
I took him to Del Taco. I think I grossed about 20,000 on that.
On that commercial.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they played it during the Super Bowl, and then they played it for like a year.
That's when they make the most
after.
money.
Yeah, they played it like 6 times. And the checks were fat.
Nice.
And then we did a bunch of auditions, did some music videos for Justin Timberlake.
How was it hanging out with Justin Timberlake?
It was all pretty much business while the cameras were rolling.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, because we were with the agency that all of his dancers were with, it's a dance and choreography, and then, if you will, I hate using the word, but extreme sports, like surf, skate, snow, motocross, BMX. So we all had the same agents. So we were cool. So we could hang out, like extras.
Yeah.
No, you go away. To go to where the extras
you guys
go.
had VIP passes.
Yeah, but the skateboarders and the dancers, yeah, you guys are cool. We can hang out on set. And we were hanging out with Justin. And I remember we were all just, papping the Puff Dragon around, Puff the Magic Dragon, hanging out, having a good time. And I had to take a piss. And I didn't want to go in the trailer. I was like, hey, Justin, is there a pisser around here? And he's like, oh, just go use my trailer. It's right there, on the other side. And so I did. And I opened the door. And I walk in, and I look to the left. There's some people, and I was just casually, I'm a friendly guy. I'm like, oh, Justin. And before I could even finish saying, Justin said I could use the bathroom. It was Alyssa Milano. And
no shit.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano and 2 dudes I didn't know. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, Justin said I could use the bathroom right here. And she's like, okay. And it's really, and then I said thank you on the way out, like, have a nice night or whatever I said.
No
but,
shit.
But I grew up watching how hot she was when I was a kid. I was like almost the same age as she was, and I was like, my heart, like, I don't really get starstruck, but at that moment when I saw her, I was like, And then like it was even hard for me to pee. I couldn't even push it out.
You didn't want the noise of the toilet.
I didn't. No, I don't remember. I was like
splashback. You don't want to hear a splashback,
right?
That's funny.
But that happened. Let's see what else happened. We'll get to Lords of Dogtown. But funny story. While I was coming back from we'll get to that Lords of Dogtown the movie. But really quick, on my way back from one of the, I think it was a rehearsal or something. My brother's like, hey, I'm doing he has a really good friend, David LaChapelle. And he's like, David's doing this video with Pamela Anderson. Why don't you come by the set? It's on their way home anyway. It's right up the 405. And I'm like, yeah, it's better than sitting in traffic. Might as well go hang out with Pamela Anderson. And walked into that trailer, and there she was in a wife beater.
Okay.
We call them bitch slappers.
Those white tank tops.
The white tank tops,
I'm wearing one underneath.
Yeah, you're wearing a bitch slapper right now. Okay, that's a whole nother story, bitch slapper. Let me tell you about that story later. But I show up and hang out with my brother, and he's like, I had my dog with me, and then we went to the trailer and walked in, and there's Pamela Anderson wearing a bitch slapper. That's it. And like maybe some short shorts, but you really couldn't tell they were short shorts.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and she's like, this is my brother Mike, and she's like, oh, and she gave me a big old giant boob hug. I'll always remember that boob hug.
You're thinking about it right now. I can see your mind wandering.
But whatever. I was 27, and I was floating on top of the world.
And back then she was on top of the world. So
yeah. But my brother Frog did hang out with her and Tommy a lot. He went to their soccer games and shit. He'd probably be another great person to put on your podcast.
Yeah, bring him on.
As long as he keeps it clean about, anything allegedly done with me in the presence of him while he's doing it.
Oh my God, Mike.
Got a lawyer up around here.
You do. But you had mentioned to me that Justin Timberlake wasn't the only music video you made.
No, the Vines. I can't remember the name of that. Avril Lavigne.
Were you in Skater Boy?
No. Everyone thinks that, but I definitely wasn't in that one. It was I'm With You. I wasn't even skateboarding. We just had to look like skateboarders.
Oh, okay.
And David...
I'm With You?
I'm With You.
The song?
Yeah, and David LaChapelle directed it, and because we did such an awesome job on the Vines video, and probably what Frog and him did. Quick story about Frog again. Him and David, the director, David LaChapelle is like one of Elton John's friends. Like, again, we're really close. I'm really close to what Frog is going on. There's a lot of famous people right there, and I'm like, why don't you do it, Frog? He's like, I don't give a fuck. He just lives in a really nice house with David, but David and Frog had a conversation about Frog. My brother, we don't have the same mom. He had a different mom, and his mom had passed away. And it was really hard for him. So him and David had a heart-to-heart that night on the Vines video, like a couple hours. And David was giving him advice about how to deal with the passing of your mother. And they cried it out or whatever. I wasn't there for the conversation, but I do know that happened. And then the very next day, David's dad passed away.
Your dad?
David's dad.
Oh, okay.
So David LaChapelle and Frog had a 2-hour talk about Frog's mom passing away. And the very next day, David's dad passed away.
Oh, shit.
So David was fresh off the boat of giving all this advice on how to deal with losing a loved one. And then lost a loved one. So there's some kind of real meant to meet each other. David plays on the other's team and Frog doesn't. So they're really good friends. It's not like that. Some people are like, oh, he lives with the gay man. I'm like, yeah, trust me. Frog's as hetero as it gets. Yeah, Frog, I didn't call you a homosexual. You know you are. You know it.
And then you had also mentioned that you made a TV commercial in Mexico. Mm-hmm. How was that about? How was that?
So I got a cool gig. I believe it was Pepsi owned. I think Mountain Dew, right? Pepsi, Mountain Dew, the same company. Or is that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, whatever. It was the Mexican Mountain Dew version, owned by Pepsi. So Pepsi hired us. And I just went down to Mexico City to do this commercial. And they picked me up at the airport. And the other guys, too, that were with me for the commercial. And, it looked like they were picking up the president of Mexico. It was, 3 black, limo trucks. The Chevy or the Denali's
Yeah.
all blacked out. And I'm like, okay, cool. And they take us to a really nice hotel, but it's like, it looks like Fort Knox. Like it's just chained off in the heart of Mexico City, which it was beautiful. And I didn't know I shouldn't be going skateboarding at 2 a.m. through the heart of Mexico City. Heard it was pretty dangerous, but me and another pro skateboarder guy that was there, we just both went out and we did. And we probably ran across some people that would have normally killed us if they weren't stoked on how we skateboarded.
Oh.
Right, so I'm pretty sure they were cool with us because we were skateboarding, and we didn't take anything with us. We didn't have our wallets. We didn't have anything. At best, you could take our clothes and our shoes, man.
And the skateboard.
Right? And we know how to get back to the hotel. They know who we are, but we knew better than to take our shit with us. Yeah, so we did that. But basically, it was me and my friends were just chilling. I'm drinking the soda, and a monster comes in. It's all CGI, so we have to fake like it's happening. And the monster fucking whips that drink right out of my hand as I'm drinking it and takes off. And we all kind of look at each other, go, what the fuck? No, we don't really say what the fuck, but that attitude.
Yeah.
What? And then we all jump on our boards and fucking take off after him. And I'm out front chasing him. I'm chasing this fake monster through Mexico City.
Yeah.
And at the end, I shoot my board at him and hit the monster. And the drink like falls out of his hand and I catch it. I look at the camera and I go. And then
Mike, this commercial sounds so familiar, dude. We watched a lot of Spanish channels growing up as kids.
this again, probably like 2003.
Yeah, that commercial sounds so familiar, man.
Hey, see, you may have known me before you knew me.
Right.
But I
right.
did that commercial. That was fun. They paid a lot of fucking money for that too. And
Yeah.
it was like all one lump sum. They didn't like go, oh, we'll just pay you as they show it.
So now you're in the eyes of, cameras and movies. Music videos and commercials and stuff. And you mentioned a little bit ago, Lords of Dogtown.
Yeah.
So Mike, when you meet Mike, you think he's full of shit. Everything comes out of his mouth he's being full of shit. Right now, he's just looking at the microphone with one eye, like he's looking for something inside. There's nothing in there, Mike. It's just a microphone. And so he told me he was in the movie called Lords of Dogtown, and I really did not believe him. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not into skateboards or whatever, so I'm like, you know what? I'll go watch this movie. If he was in it, at least I can do is watch it, support the guy. This guy made so many appearances in one movie. Like, I sent you a picture of one of the scenes, and you're literally having a conversation with Heath Ledger. What got you this movie role? I mean, obviously, besides being in music videos and commercials,
Skateboarding.
Mm-hmm. So how did they find you of all people?
So at the time, now this is
Not of all people. That's not wrong.
After doing a lot of this, I did a lot of auditions for a lot of whatevers.
Okay.
A lot of, you get turned down a lot for the jobs. It's kind of expensive. It's like playing the lottery. Instead of buying a lottery ticket, you're throwing $20 in the gas tank.
You're right.
And scratching. Every audition is a scratch. Oh, did I win?
Yeah.
And sometimes you win. And I just happened to Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit was supposed to direct it. We auditioned for his version of Lords of Dogtown.
Okay.
Or whatever it was. I'm sure the script was the
How's
same.
How's that guy?
I didn't meet him.
Oh.
So we auditioned for that, and we never got past the first round. All three of my brothers and I. And then I had my own audition for it because they look at what the agency has to offer, and they go, all right. It's not like my brothers and I were a package. Sometimes we were. They were like, oh, I want the brothers. And
right.
we'd be on the music video. That's how we got the next one after David did the Avril Lavigne one.
Uh-huh.
So after him and Prague had that conversation, we got that. He's like, just bring the brothers back. We didn't have to audition. They were like, yeah, got it. So, but they go and they pick me. And obviously they're like, all right, Mike, they want you to audition for Lords of Dogtown, but it's a new director. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I show up with my dog again. Shout out Knuckles. Rest in peace, Knuckles. I go out there, and there's the director and a producer and a couple other people in the camera, and they go, basically, here's the scene. And the scene is in the movie, but here's the scene. You and your homies, you are in the pool, you're throwing down a sesh, drinking beers, having a good time, and you guys have already obviously gotten into the drought and empty pool sessions, and you learned how to skate them. You guys are shredding, having a great time. And then And fucking Tony Alba, the rock star, the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, Time magazine, whatever he was, shows up with Rolling Stone magazine to do a photo shoot. And we're like, bro, we're having fun right now, just us. And now you're bringing them. They're like, hey, can you guys pose in the background while Tony does a trick? And we're like, the fuck? So that's the scene. And I'm one of the guys. I'm just me by myself. Though my dog's off to the side, just doing. She just sits there. She's a good dog. Rest in peace, Knuckles. And they go, that's the scene. And now, right when she says, all right, pose for Tony, and you guys in the background pose for Tony, like you're watching him, like, yeah, right. Tony, like, and we're like, all right, no problem. Just let us know when you want us to pose. And it's hard for me not to stand up and do this, but every time I tell the story, I got to stand up and do it. But I'll go ahead and tell you. I look right at the camera, and they're like, okay, pose. And I look right at the camera, and I grab my crotch, and I flip the camera up, and I say, fuck you! And I hold it.
Yeah.
And they go, and they cut, whatever, and they're like, yeah, I think we got it. All right, cool. And they asked me some other questions, how long you've been skateboarding and shit like that, and do you know about the Z Boys, just random whatever.
So real quick, from my understanding is Lords of Dogtown is based on a true story back in the 70s, right when there was a drought and kids were just trying to keep themselves busy.
Not necessarily drought that caused the rush. The backyard pool skateboarding. Yeah. The drought really helped fuel that whole industry, because guys were even taking taking their girlfriends or a girl and pretending to be married couples and going to realty saying they wanted to fly over homes that were for sale that had pools. Yeah. And they knew they were empty because they couldn't have them, and you had to drain them because they couldn't get moldy. So all the pools were empty, and they would pretend that they were a married couple looking for a new home and find all the empty pools. And then they would keep track of the homes and then go back and skate them. You
played a character, I think his first name was Bob.
Bob the Bullet Biniak.
Did you get to meet him? Or, yeah. How was he like? Or is he still with us?
No, he's not with us. He passed away shortly after the movie.
Well, he would have been a lot older, right?
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head, but he was 18 in the 70s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you could do the math.
I mean, you played with.
I was born in the 70s, so he's probably pushing 70.
You worked with. I didn't Google it yet, but you worked with quite a bit of actors. Heath Ledger for one of them, and then you worked with. I mispronounced this guy's name, but in the meantime, while I Google this, how was Heath Ledger like? Not a lot of people on my podcast can talk about how Heath Ledger was as a person. So my wife did say I don't want to hear anything bad about Heath Ledger. She used to love Heath Ledger. So keep it clean, buddy. Keep it PG-13. No, I'm playing.
He was down to earth. He was super cool. He wasn't pompous. He wasn't an asshole. He was very helpful, especially to some of the other lead actors in it. I watched him kind of coach him like a father figure almost. He was really good, and we were always down. He always wondered what it was like to be a family man. At the time, I had my 3 daughters, and we all knew each other on set. We spent months together, so a lot of times I'd just chill wherever he was because the other guys were a little younger than I was, probably like 10 years younger, and crazy. Yeah. I thought I was crazy. But anyway, I hung out with him a lot, and he's super cool. I don't know what to tell you. We hung out at his house because we had a rap party there. It was good. Everybody showed up, and it was fun to watch him work. It was fun to watch everybody work, but to watch a true professional like that, it was like watching a professional skateboarder skate. Like we'd skate in the pools, and then watching him on camera, it was like, oh, that's how you do it.
You sent me a photo of Heath Ledger on a skateboard, and you're skating right behind him. I don't remember. Is that part of the movie, or was that was it?
That was not taken during the movie. It was like in between. And
so that
was in a magazine.
That image was not in the movie.
That was in like People magazine or something. Okay. That picture was It went online
That's awesome.
too.
I'm gonna share it on the Instagram page so they can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You also got to work with. I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. You're gonna correct me. Emil Hirsch. He was in Into the Wild, The Girl Next Door, obviously Lord of Dogtown, Alpha Dog. I remember watching him in Alpha Dog. I think he did a good job in that movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This kid did. I mean, well, quite a bit. He has a nice resume on movies. How was he like?
He was good. He's a good guy. He was really serious. He wasn't really a skateboarder. He had to practice a little bit to actually start skateboarding. He really dedicated. All the guys really dedicated themselves to getting good enough to look like they were natural.
They knew what they were doing.
They were doing, yeah. So and they were really into it, and they were really into their acting, like as proof positive where they're at now. So they were. We didn't like really hang out that much with those guys, but we were on set all the time. Everyone was cool. We were all a team. The director and everybody really did a really fine job of making sure that when we all hung out together, we were all bros. Like offset, on set, behind the camera, in front of the camera, wherever, we all hung out like we were really skateboarding. We kind of lived almost like method acting. It wasn't hard to method act because they're like, hey, Mike, can you play a teenager who likes to drink, smoke, skateboard, womanizer, trying to make a little bit of money in the skateboard industry and just having fun? Can you think you can act like that?
Please.
I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
There's even if you watch the bloopers, there's a scene where I'm looking, or not the bloopers, where the director and the three main actors, like Emil and whatnot, they're doing like commentary over the movie. It's like on the DVD special, and there's a scene where I'm like looking over around the corner while he's grabbing her boobs, and then I jump out and scare him, and he like shakes her boobs and then hits the ground again like speed wobbles and eats shit.
Yeah.
The commentary, they're like, hey, look at Beniak. I don't even think he's really acting. I think that's real. I was like, yeah. Because there's only like the director, the camera guy, and the actors that were in the scene were allowed to watch it because she had her bra on and her boobs. So they closed the set to just us.
Yeah.
So I'm just like looking around the corner at, America Ferrara's giant Hooters.
Yeah.
And just waiting, and he's like practicing grabbing them. So I'm over there, like literally, the camera wasn't even rolling. I was like, if you guys could see my eyes right now, my eyes were like really big. I was like, wow, this is going on. Okay.
So I don't think I think we got distracted, but what do you call it? So the audition, you say you guys were going to be skating around the empty pool, right?
Yeah.
And then the Rolling Stone stuff came up.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much by you guys taking that photo, they pretty much said, "Fuck it, you guys are all in." Is that pretty much the end?
What do you mean?
Because you said you were for the audition for the movie, right?
I was by myself.
You guys were skateboarding, and the Rolling Stone people showed up, right?
Yeah,
and they made it part of the movie.
No. The audition was I was by myself in a room like this.
Oh.
That was the scene.
That was the scene. Oh, gotcha.
And I had to act like and I was there in that scene. Gotcha. The camera's rolling. What would you do when she says,
I got confused.
Pose.
Gotcha. Okay.
I grabbed my dick and said, "Fuck you." Gotcha. Flipped the camera off.
Okay.
And then that's all I did.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then they asked me a few questions, blah, blah, blah. I left. And then it was like a week or two later.
They called you?
They called me and they said, we'd like you to come in to hair and makeup because we want to do something with your hair. I said, perfect. So I spent about a week.
How long did
getting my hair done?
This movie didn't really have a lot of special effects. So how long was?
Yeah, it did. A lot of it was because.
Well, I mean, like my idea of special effects was like fireworks, cars blowing up, and.
Well, how did they get the old Santa Monica Pier there?
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, that's all CGI, and they filmed it. Some of it was filmed there, and a lot of the surfing was filmed in Imperial Beach in San Diego. Wasn't even on set, and the ditch scene was in San Diego too. And some of the other shots we did in San Pedro, Montclair, and Pasadena. Like a lot of these places weren't.
So how long was the whole?
We did Venice and We did all the Dogtown area.
How long was the whole movie process, like filming part? Like
almost a year.
almost a year?
No, 9 months.
9 months?
8 or 9 months of filming.
And after the filming stopped,
about 3 months of practicing how to skateboard on the little ones. Not even using our old boards and just completely changing the surf style back to the 70s.
So 9 months of filming, and then how long after the filming stopped did the movie how long was the movie released after?
A year.
A year later?
Year later.
Okay.
Give or take, yeah. If I remember correctly. I don't know. It's all kind of a blur. It was fun. I got to walk the red carpet with my mom. Rest in peace, Mama.
That's awesome.
Because I probably could have brought my whole family. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, clean invite.
But I think I got like a +1
Yeah.
because it was in the movie theater, and I wanted to bring my wife at the time went with me to all the parties, like the rap parties. We went dancing in Malibu. We went to Heath Ledger's house. She met Heath. We met Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne.
No shit.
We went to a Lord of Dogtown art show in L.A. and I brought my wife and her sister. That was fun. That's when we met Ozzy. I'll send you that picture. I have it somewhere of me with Ozzy. Yeah, I brought my friend Patrick to that. We went and saw Suicidal Tendencies for the rap show. Like not the rap show, the rap party show. There was like 100 people to watch Suicidal Tendencies and Perry Farrell.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Because one of the Z-Boys, the lead singer of Suicidal Tendencies, is his brother. One of the Z-Boys, Red Dog, his brother Mike Muir. Small world out there. Skateboard industry is. Yeah, but anyway, that's that. What else about the movie? I love eating shit right before I'm gonna film the scene where I make the other guy eat shit. That was fun. First practice take, I yelled speed wobbles to make him fall.
Yeah.
And I got speed wobbles and fell. For reals. I know they still have it on film somewhere.
I know when you agreed to come on the podcast, I started going and watching the movie, kind of like fast forwarding to certain parts where I knew you had your face was up front of the camera, and I was taking screenshots. I'm gonna obviously, with or without your permission, I'm making a Instagram video.
Okay.
So with your audio of this podcast, and I was like going through it. I'm like, but yeah, no, there was a lot of times when you were up close and personal up in that camera. It's like,
well, now you have to watch the whole movie, because when we went in to film or to record all the background sounds, you know, like when we all get to the apartment and we all go into the kitchen, you know, when he comes in and sees his mom on the couch and she's all, "You guys look dope as fuck. Where'd you get those shirts?" Right? And then we all walk into the kitchen. We all trying to get a hug from her because, you know, we thought Jay's mom was hot. And we walk into the kitchen, but you can hear me. You can hear my voice throughout the movie. If you know this voice, listen to the whole movie. And there are scenes that I'm not even in. You can just hear me in the back like, "Where's my peanut butter and jelly, man?" You know, they're shit like, "Oh, dump it on Sid." You know, he's one of the characters. And you could just hear my voice in the background all the time. Because when we were recording, I was super obnoxious. And that's what they like. When you're on screen.
Well, you guys had to be high school kids, right?
The director, you want the director to say, "No, bring it down a little bit." You never want the director to say, "A little more energy." No, hey, yeah, I love the energy. Slow it down just a little, just a scooch.
Yeah.
And so I was spaz until he told me not to. Still kind of am, but now I tell myself not to. Sometimes. Anyway, what else about the movie? What else could I tell you? I got so many stories. We got to sit around a campfire and have a podcast. So just the crackling of the fire.
What's his name? Tony Hawk made an cameo, right? As an astronaut.
Yeah, Tony.
You got to meet him or no?
I met him plenty of times before the movie.
Really?
Yeah, just from skateboard contests, trade shows here and there.
No shit.
Doing things. Yeah. We crossed paths plenty of times.
I think he wanted to do. Recently, I watched a video where he's trying to do one of his flips, like pretty much his last flip, because he's already up there in age, and it was like what do you call it? I mean, I grew up not watching Tony Hawk, but I grew up playing his games. Pro Skater, Pro Skater 2.
Yeah,
freaking soundtrack was awesome in that game.
Why battle gravity? Just use your thumbs.
So he was cool, and then what do you call that? Oh, Johnny Knoxville he was in the movie Hustle.
Yeah, he was in the movie. Didn't hang out with him too much.
No.
He was just kind of in and out. He did his scenes and then bounced. He was funny to hang
There's
out.
a bunch of people on here that I've seen like
Sofia Vergara.
Oh, that's right. That's right. She was in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sofia Vergara. Then I'm looking at. I mean, there's a bunch of people on here. Let me see.
Victor.
There's
John
Oh,
Robinson.
is it Joe McHale? TV
Joe
reporter.
McHale. Yeah.
He's like on MTV and all that stuff, right?
He was. He had his own talk show for a while.
Eldon Henson.
Yeah, he's
He made wasn't he in what is he?
the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks movies. That's right. One of the brothers. What do they call them?
One of the guys from that plays on the Marvel character. I don't know if DC or Marvel. The bow and arrow guy. He plays one of the cokehead freaks at the skateboard contest.
He was in Butterfly Effect. He was in Mocking. He was in the Hunger Game movies. He was in obviously Mighty Ducks. He was also he made an appearance in the new TV show for Disney. Oh, that's right. He was in She's All That, Deja Vu, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, he's done a lot of shit.
He's in a lot of shit. Yeah, a lot. Turner and Hooch. Oh shit, that's what what's his name from Toy Story?
Yeah, needless to say, I've been around a few people
Castaway.
here and there. I was like a good chunk of my life. I met a lot of cool people.
Yeah. No, I mean so far.
So did my brother.
So
I dropped my brother off at Christina Aguilera's house.
oh no shit.
She comes out and like jumps on him and wraps her legs around him. I'm like, okay,
Damn.
all right. So yeah, they're friends. My bro, he has such a great, positive, fucking awesome personality. Even though he's a stupid fucker. You stupid fucker! I know you're listening to this. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Frog. It's
Again, I don't know you, dude. So.
he is his personality is infectious, and to a point that you're fucking annoying, but I couldn't live without you, bro. And fucking call me, you piece of shit. I know, I'm just talking to you, Frog. Anyway.
If you don't want to call him, you can always text the
Oh, by the
text
way,
line,
my brother.
818-806-8595.
All right, by the way, Frog, his birth name was Chad Evan Kirkwood. And he changed his name legally to Frog recently.
Really?
So his name is now Frog Chad Evan Kirkwood. And he even sent me a picture of his driver's license.
No shit.
It says Frog. And he got a social security card that says Frog.
He should have just put McLovin.
Right? Fucking Frog.
That's cool.
He's battling cancer right now. It's a tough one.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that really sucks.
It's all right. He'll kick it.
Oh, yeah. Anything else from the Lord of Dogtown? Any other music videos you forgot to mention?
Maybe.
Avril Lavigne.
There was a. I did You, Me, and Dupree. That movie, You, Me, and Dupree. There's a scene where he builds a half pipe in the cul-de-sac or a quarter pipe and tries to get the kids to skate and all the kids. So I was teaching skateboarding at the time, so I had a nice, I guess, phone number list of kids I could call to be in the movie. So they asked me to do that. So I did. I got some kids. I got about 5 kids, and they all came out. And I came out and we skated in one of the scenes. It's kind of background, but I got the kids for that scene.
Yeah.
You, Me, and Dupree. So watch that. There's a couple different versions. There's a version where you actually see me in it, but the kids were more. It was more about the kids in the cul-de-sac. But I did get a little shot there in one of the versions.
All right.
They had different versions like long cut where they didn't edit it as much. Let's see what else. Oh, there's a movie where I played the stunt double for the main character, and it was all skateboarding. It's kind of like a North Shore movie. It's called Dish Dogs, and it has Luke Perry in it from 90210, and he's kind of like the father figure, and this kid comes from wherever the fuck he comes from to a skateboard camp and works in the kitchen washing dishes, and he's already a skateboarder, and he starts gets a guy to get him under his wing. He like runs the whole dish.
Yeah.
He's the boss in the dish room, and takes him under his wing, and the story goes. The kid comes from out of town, wins the girl, wins the contest, and goes back home a champion with sponsors and whatever. So all of the skateboarding is me. So you see like a long shot distance of me skating towards the bus stop where he's getting on from Arizona or Texas, wherever he's at. That's me skateboarding. And then, you see him, he does his acting. And then when anytime he jumps on the board, it's me.
It's you.
Mm-hmm.
What movie is it again?
Dish Dogs.
I'm all right.
I think it's with a Z. It is with a Z.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta look it up, man.
Yeah, that's a fun movie to watch too.
Yeah. All right.
Did some other just random bullshit. Just, shows, like live shows. Knott's Berry Farm. I did that for like 2 years, 2 summers.
Knott's Berry Farm?
Yeah, they had a live show.
Oh, okay.
They had rollerblade, BMX, skateboarding, and then they had one of those long ass fucking trampolines where they could do the gymnasts do the tricks.
Yeah.
So we did a live show like that. We did 3 shows a day, 5 days a week for the whole summer.
No shit.
Yeah, that was good. Paid well. My buddy that lived with us at the time, he was a roommate of ours. He got the job. Him and a couple other skateboarders, and they got fired because they got caught smoking weed in the parking lot at Knott's. So they said, well, you can't do that. We don't care if you're high. Fuck, you come skate and get the fuck out of here, but you can't be smoking in the parking lot. You're fired. So he came home and said, hey, we told them that you could do the job, So they called me, and I was sure as shit. I showed up. They're like, all right, you got the job. So I did the live show at Knott's Berry Farm.
Damn.
I want to say that was before Lords of Dogtown, though. 2003.
Did you do anything else after Lords of Dogtown?
Not really.
That's it?
A few small things. I couldn't even tell you what they were. But nothing. My skateboarding teaching business got really big.
Oh, okay.
Really big.
So you went back to that?
I did actually have a behind a desk job for a while, but then I started teaching skateboard lessons.
I don't see you as behind a desk job.
I was a estimator for a landscape construction company, a multi-million-dollar landscape. Like they did Newport, the golf course in Newport Beach.
Yeah.
Like all the bungalows that they have where you stay at the golf course. That was our job. It was like a $8 million job, and so basically I just helped put bids together for multi-million-dollar condos and apartment complexes and new home tracks.
Oh shit!
I did that for a year and a half.
But skateboarding at the end of the day was your calling.
Yeah. I did teach skateboarding to the president of the UFC, Dana White.
Oh no shit!
So they called Danny Way, the guy who helped me out with the Learn to Skate video and got me into Hollywood. He started a management company for big sports like skateboarding, BMX kind of guys, and Danny Way was one of them. So the president of the UFC, Dana White, calls Danny or gets a hold of Danny's people, says, hey, can you come teach my son to skate? Obviously he wants the best skateboarder to come do it, and they're like, that's not really his thing, but I have a guy. So they called me. So Dana flew me out to Vegas while I was working at the landscape place. I said, I'm going to Dana White's hiring me. They're like, get the fuck out of here. You go, man. You go. Dana, when are you gonna get an invite by Dana White and get paid to be there?
Exactly.
So he paid me $500 a day for 5 days, plus put me up at the Red Rock Hotel, and put me on his black. He drove me there personally. Put me on his American Express black card, and they already knew who it was because his business partners that own UFC with him own this restaurant. I mean, this hotel, the Red Rock. Okay. The Red Rock in Vegas. It's outside of Vegas. It's a little bit outside. And so I did that. That was cool. I got to go to UFC fight because he had me come out again and teach his kids for 7 days at $500 a day plus the hotel. And I think it was over $10,000.
That you made by just teaching his kids?
No, that I spent on the hotel room because I got massages. I went and I ordered.
So you walked away with no profit?
I went to the no. I put it on the room.
Oh, and Dana White paid for it?
He paid for it all,
and paid you for teaching his kids,
and paid me $500 a day.
Damn.
And I basically was just with the nanny and the kids for 6 hours, just skateboarding, just going to the skate parks, going to skate shops, buying new shit. And yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then my dad and my brother drove out, and we watched the UFC fight and partied. Had a great time. Good old skateboarding. Takes me around the world. But anyway, after that, the skateboarding got super big. And the skateboard, teaching the kids, schools, after-school programs with kids skateboarding, you name it, anything.
Yeah.
And I was so busy that if you showed up at the skate park without a checkbook or a credit card or cash, I didn't have time to talk to you.
Damn.
Right?
Damn.
I was
You know-
literally,
you know
can
you're
I
not-
really fit you in on my
You
schedule?
know you're not getting paid for this, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
one day when you get sponsors, and this is the one they listen to the most, right? Actually, I think I'm kind of boring,
No.
but I could be here all night.
No, you're good.
Let's drink some Red Bulls.
I don't have any.
No, I never mind.
Yeah.
Let's see what else happened after that.
Well, let's get into what you started off the podcast by saying that you are now clean,
Sober. I've been drinking, like I said, habitually for a long fucking time, and I was definitely, for the most part, functioning alcoholic. I could definitely hold my own. I was never like shit-faced drunk, but I always had a buzz, no matter what.
When do you feel that started?
When it became a I don't know.
Okay, well, obviously you started drinking, but when did you feel it was a problem, or like you just didn't like?
I never thought it was.
You never
really
thought. No one ever told you in the
problem.
past. Hey,
I'm
you're
sure they
drinking
have.
too much.
Yeah, but I blocked that shit out, dude. The addiction took over. I didn't really care. Thought I was handling it, and then my brother told me once. He's like, "Dude, you're not fucking fooling anybody." And that was kind of eye opener. And then my woman, my lady, Summer. Shout out to Summer. She is rock solid, and I would ever do anything to fucking ruin anything with her. And it was at a point where I had pretty much already. It was gonna take a baby Jesus miracle for me to get out of it.
Because I mean, like I
She
said,
was like, get clean or get the fuck out. Is basically bottom line.
like
And I did.
when I met you, I mean, you seemed like you were drunk every time I was in the store.
I wouldn't say drunk, but probably had a nice buzz.
Yeah, and then you had like obviously it was every once in a while. I'll be inside the cooler counter, and you walk in there, and take a sip of whatever beer you had in there, and then go back to the floor, back to the register. And I noticed that.
That was really towards the end.
Yeah, and I
After
noticed
my mom passed away.
Yeah, I noticed that your attitude, your drinking, and it got bad. It got worse. I mean, at one point I even said, I mean, I know I'm just your beer vendor, but bro, can I give you a hug, man? Because I know you took your mom's passing hard, and that obviously made you start drinking even more, on top of what you were already drinking. So, what also kind of, I remember the day that we talked about your mom, and you told me that she was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
It was around the same time that my wife was diagnosed with cancer.
Right.
And you, based on the fact that you already knew your mom was not gonna make it, you pretty much begged me to fucking tell your wife to do whatever it takes to get it taken care of, because we had like a kind of like a bonding moment in a way, kind of like what sadly to say about cancer.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, I never experienced losing a mother before. You only, there's a few situations where you have more than one mother, not biologically, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of all a blur. Right about now, around mid-July, early to mid-July, around the 4th of July last year, I guess that's when my girlfriend really, really noticed. I mean, she obviously was the closest one to me and probably saw a decline, and I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't, actually. Thought I was okay, and I clearly wasn't. And she really woke me up. And I quit cold turkey, thought I was going to die.
Wait, so is there an event that happened that your wife was your girlfriend?
I think it was the 4th of July. I don't really remember, but I was stupid, drunk, obnoxious at her parents' house, and I really don't remember what I said or did or whatever, and that's probably a pretty clear indication that I had a problem. But that's when it started, and then by November, it was like, you got to get the fuck out of here, and if it isn't a rehab, then I don't give a fuck where you go. I care about you, but right now I have to protect my family from whatever you're dealing with, and I've had it up to here. Figure this shit out. And I went, all right. And I quit. cold turkey, and for like 14 days, a fortnight, I was fucking just ill on the couch, just sweating it out.
Your body was asking for that alcohol.
That was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could have died. I probably had a couple mini seizures that I didn't even know about, and probably shit my pants like 3 times, and fuck, it was horrible. And then finally found a good place to go, the Inland Valley Recovery Services, IBRS, in Upland. They have a few places around, but I went to the one in Upland, and that I wanted to go. I had already quit drinking cold turkey, but I knew that a lot of people that quit can't because they don't know how or why or what. So I needed therapy basically to figure out what I was running from, why I was trying to mask all this pain and trauma in my life with alcohol.
Can you think of why you had so much pain? Maybe your dad being gone, or?
Oh, dude, it's a plethora of shit. I don't pay you enough to sit here and talk to you about it, and even let the world know. But yeah, no, I've been through some shit in my life, and it's the shit doesn't go away when you drink. You just drunk, and it's still there. So I realized that, and I'm so clear-headed now. It's like I quit the liquor store. Actually, I probably couldn't even at that point. I probably not even drinking would have crashed my car just driving to work. I don't know how I did it when I look back, but I pulled through 30 days, nothing, just clean as a whistle. It was kind of tough at first. And
what does your body go through when you're trying to, was it detox? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I just told you. I shit myself. I fucking laid on the couch, thought I was having like,
that was
mini
at home.
seizures.
I thought.
No, I detoxed at home.
Yeah.
They didn't even put me in detox when I went there because I was already sober for 16 days. And they did a pee test there, and I had no alcohol in my system. They just found some THC in my system, and as long as it doesn't go up while you're there, because they test you randomly, then you're fine. They don't care. They don't care what kind of drugs you have in your system when you get there. But they need to get a base level. Yeah. So while you're there, if it doesn't go down, it's up still, then they'll kick your ass out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're there to get clean, then you stay clean, and they'll make sure you're clean. Oh. And unless some guys were there court mandated for whatever reason, obviously they had a problem, got in trouble, and the court said you go to rehab, will lessen the charges. But yeah, that was 30 days. I got out. It was still kind of rough after I got out, but repaired whatever emotional damage that I could repair, and things are good. Life is good. I have 3 jobs now. I went back to the liquor store after I really realized that, like I told you guys in the beginning, I am not an alcoholic. I used to be. That was the old me. I used to drink. Now I don't give a fuck. I don't drink, and I don't give a fuck. I like to give the message out there. If there's someone out there struggling, and even the tiny bit of a seed I can plant in your brain, maybe you're starting to see signs of the same thing happening when your relationships with friends, family, or work, to fucking dig yourself out of it. You can be a normie. Go fucking drink on the weekends with your friends. Don't get shit-faced, crash your car. That's stupid. But drinking all day, every day, to the point where your body says you're going to die, your family says fuck off, then maybe, you should do it. And I guarantee you, once you do it, I'm only 8 months deep. I can only imagine once I get to 2 years how much clearer my thought process is going to be. Yeah. Because it does take a while. But right now, clear. I got 3 jobs. I'm working 70 hours a week. I'm so exhausted, and I still have time to come over here and hold this guy's fucking hand. But yeah, I'm training to be a dog trainer and a pet care professional, but I get paid to do it. I walk dogs basically, and then they're training me to teach people how to train or how to walk their dogs and, pick up their shit.
Well, I saw how you were with my dogs when you got here. That's the most interaction they've had with human. Just in the 45 seconds that it took you to walk into the so-called studio here.
Right. And then
you can have her.
Oh, trust me, I would. It's not true. So I'm not taking her home, sir.
No.
but I would. And she knows I would. But nonetheless, so dogs, and then basically it's women, children, and dogs. That's my life right now. Myself first. You have to be super selfish in order to be selfless. You know what I mean?
I like that.
You have to take care of. Oh, it was and then I'll get back to what I do now. I'm a third grade school teacher, and I run a liquor store on the weekends. I close the liquor store. So those are my 3 jobs now. I work 7 days a week. But yeah, so basically, really quick, if I could kind of break this down really quick, take 3 of the most important things in your life right now, in your head. Everyone on the podcast listening to, just think of the most important things you cannot live without. I have mine in my head. Okay, go ahead and take that 3rd thing on your list and get rid of it. Now you only have 2 things in your life that are most important to you. Boom, get rid of the second one. Now the last thing, what is it? Go ahead. What is it, Mr. Flat Tire Andy?
I can't pick one of my kids, bro. I can't.
No,
favoritism.
you could say family,
Family.
right?
Family is number
Well,
one.
then you might be fucked. Because if it isn't you, then you can't take care of your family.
I see what you're saying.
If you don't take care of you
Yourself,
first,
yeah.
mentally, emotionally, physically, then no one's going to be able to lean on you as a father if you can't even handle what you have to handle. So I learned that, and again, like I said, the problems don't go away just because you're drunk. They're just still there, probably getting worse.
Getting worse, yeah.
Very, very rarely do problems get solved just by drinking more.
You know what, Mike? I everyone knows. I mean, obviously, I'm an open book when it comes on this podcast, and I've said a lot of stuff. And I don't know what it is, but even though I was at one point suicidal, I mean, alcohol has never been like, let me drink to make the pain go away. Like, dude, I have a refrigerator full of beer, and I don't even touch them. They just sit there when I have a guest that
You have
wants
a job full of beer.
I have a job full of beer too. Yeah.
And so do I.
Yeah, I just never really, it's never been my cup of tea, man. I don't know. I just, like, I went to a lot of the times I went to the beach to clear my mind. So.
Well, fucking A.
Yeah.
You're addicted to the beach.
Yeah. No, I miss it right now. I'm fucking living all the way out here.
Yeah, tell me about it. But I'm right next to the mountains over here in Glendora, so I get my fair share of nature.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. The last 2 nights, I get home, I walk about 12 to 15,000 steps a day working with the kids over here, and then I get home and eat dinner, and then my girlfriend looks at me. She's like, "Want to go for a walk?"
I see you post a lot of hiking pictures.
Yeah,
man.
and we went on a walk the last 2 nights up top of Azusa,
Mm-hmm.
and we look out. You could see little fireworks. People are blowing up fireworks already, and it was at night.
You guys went up to the A or somewhere?
No, it's right. It's right underneath it. There's a little road that goes up there.
Okay.
Sierra Madre, and
Oh, that's right.
we were up there just walking around, and we came across a skunk.
Oh shit.
Nothing happened.
Oh,
We
okay.
just watched it, took some pictures of it, and walked by. It was trying to catch frog to eat it. That was cool. And then last night we walked upon, like, probably from here to wherever your dogs are, right over here behind us, a coyote.
Oh
It
shit.
was just looking at us. We took a picture of it, and we were looking at the picture. It looks like we're in like a museum somewhere, and they had like a stuffed coyote in its natural habitat. It's pretty funny. That's the kind of shit I do now. I work, I hike, and I rub my girlfriend's feet.
I mean, I do see you do spend a lot of time with her. Like, obviously, it fixed your guys' relationship, right? Because she was kind of getting tired of your shit.
I'm still there, so I
She's
did
still,
something.
Yeah, you're doing something right.
Did something right, but I bend over backwards for her.
A long time ago, you told me you're gonna make an OnlyFans for her feet. Did you do that?
For her feet, you silly. No, and that is for another podcast. When I am actually making money doing it, I'll come back on and let everybody know about my OnlyFans.
Your OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'll be behind the wheel on that one. But yeah, that's it. Really, shoot. I at a crossroads right now because I have a career path with children.
Yeah.
Like working, I'm good at what I do, but I don't know how to do what, like, they come at you with this curriculum, and I was like, I've been a teacher teaching skateboarding, and the one cool thing about that is every kid that I taught wanted to fucking be there.
Yeah.
That was it. I'm here to skateboard. You know, they're ready. You know, I go to the school to teach, and they're like, I don't fucking do this shit.
Yeah.
And I have to like try and make it fun. So it's kind of tough, but I don't teach like a regular teacher at all. If you could imagine me being spastic in the store, but minus the inappropriate jokes and the language.
Yeah.
I'm a clown. And I mess with the kids too. Like the other day, I was trying to teach them about time.
Yeah.
Why, you gonna tell me something about time right now? Oh, he's trying to cut me off. I still have stories. This fucker. All right.
No,
fuck off.
No, I wasn't gonna cut you off. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, dude, like there's times at the liquor store I never took you fucking serious. Like, just the oddball bullshit that came out of your mouth. Like,
I do that with the kids on a different level, though.
yeah.
Like, you know, they come at me with some silly stuff. I have rules too. Like, hey, if it ain't yours, and the whole class will say, "Don't touch it." I go, that'll solve so many problems. Another problem with the kids, what did I do yesterday? We were, I'm pretty liberal. I'm all about women's rights. I have 3 daughters. I love my girlfriend. All women around the world should be cherished, except for a few. And we were putting tattoos on their skin. They were putting tattoos on their own skin. And one of the little girls goes, "Can I put one on my leg?" And one of the other teachers was like, "Oh, I don't know." And she's my student, so she looks up at me like, "Is it okay, Mr. Michael?" And I'm like, "Girl, it's your body, your choice." And I walked away, and the other teacher looked at me like, "Whoa, did he just get political with the kid?" That little kid knows nothing yet, but I hope I could plant the seed in her head. Like, that's right. It is my body, my choice. Right? She's not hurting anybody. And if she was, it'd be herself. But I wouldn't obviously let an 8-year-old put a real tattoo on her leg.
It's just those water ones, right? It's the ones that come off like 2 days
paint.
later. 2 days later.
It was a stencil with face paint.
Yeah.
It come off before we even got back to the school from the field trip. But yeah, I like to have fun with the kids.
That's cool, man.
And the dogs, obviously. And then my 3 daughters, they're killing it
They're
right now.
in college now, right?
Yeah, they're my oldest daughter graduated with her bachelor's and is going for her master's now.
Shout out to your daughter.
My Michaela. Whoop whoop. And then Serena, she's like, I really think she should do music as a career because she's naturally talented, but she's getting into the arts. And then Alyssa, we call her Tuca, little bird, or I do anyway. She is kind of doing the same thing I am with kids. She's going through child psychology classes and early childhood development, and they're just killing it. They got they got boyfriends and lives, and my oldest is getting married. She's gonna be 27 next year. Jesus, where time flies.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, so I'm busy. And then of course my girlfriend has a 21-year-old son who worked with me at the liquor store, Hunter, and then her 17-year-old daughter, who's a wonderful artist and she plays drums and she's super talented. And then her youngest, who's 13-year-old boy. And
you guys are the freaking real life Brady Bunch.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's always never a dull moment. And when it is, it's just me sitting on my couch.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, oh, we need to get more, like another 5-gallon thing of water. I'll be right back. Go to the store. Oh, I forgot cat food. I'll be right back. Oh, laundry. Shit, I got to do laundry. I do the laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I didn't have to do it the last couple times. For some reason, I wasn't home and it just needed to get done. Thanks, Summer.
On your Facebook post, you always like hash. Whoa.
That was close.
That was pretty close.
That was like, I even saw the flash and it's daytime.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Hey, 4th of July is over, guys. On your Facebook post, you always hashtag stay weird.
Yeah.
That's like your slogan, your motto. What can you give us a definition of what do you mean by stay weird?
Well, I guess just be weird, be different. Don't be like everyone else. You know what I mean? Just go out there. Who gives a fuck? If you're alone, obviously don't do any inappropriate stuff, but get naked. Get under a waterfall somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Take a 5-mile hike. Just take your clothes off and just get under a waterfall. It'll change your life in a way you can't describe. It's fun, you know, and then you come back and tell everybody, hey, I got naked and went to the pool. I mean, into a waterfall. Or, you know, just go out there and meditate and you just walk and see wildlife. go to the beach, just take weird pictures and go, wow, look at that. That pelican has a frog. Or I even make pictures of like my girlfriend leaning against a bear, or just stay weird. Stay fucking weird. I hate normal shit. I like a good weird movie, good weird video. I love, like trippy mushroom shit. Like just kaleidoscope shit coming out with the music pumping, good concerts. Tool is one of my favorite bands, if anyone knows.
So another
Tool.
another definition would be just live life.
Yeah. Your way.
Yeah.
If it's weird, who cares?
Who cares?
Okay, just don't hurt anybody while you're doing it. And if it's amusing to me, then so be it. If it's not, you do you.
Yeah.
You having fun? You're not hurting anybody? I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Well, Mike, before I end the podcast, I started a new thing where I ask I ask my guest what message they would give someone, a child. Like, I don't condone kids listening to my podcast. I'm not a fan of it because
we curse,
and not that we say a bunch of stuff that kids should. I've heard podcasts that are talking about private parts and all kinds of stuff, and then they add it into their comedy. That's not me. I don't add that into my podcast or my conversations. So
I know.
My conversations are not that dirty, but I still don't recommend it because they're kids, man. And so I started a new thing where I ask my guests if you can tell your kids are already adults. So let's say maybe one of your students, little Jimmy. What advice can you give little Jimmy 15 years from now? Like, what will you tell him if he were to listen to this podcast and you're talking, and he listens? Hey, that's Mr. Mike, my Mr. Mikey listening to his podcast episode. What will you tell little Jimmy?
Question authority. Question everything. That's it. I mean, your entire life is based on what you learn. And if you don't question why you're doing things, why you have to do it that way, and then you'll never know why you're doing it. You're just fucking doing it. And then you're normal and not weird. So question everything. Question authority. I don't mind when my kids ask me, when I say do something and they ask why, I'll gladly explain to them why they have to do it. They question me. That's fine. I'm not like, because I said so. No, let me explain to you why. Because this might happen, or X, Y, and Z. So now you know. So next time I tell you, now you know why I don't have to explain myself again.
Right.
But definitely question everything. Why is this that way? Why does that happen? Why did this happen? Did I do something? Can I have done something to change it? Was it ineffable? I had no choice in the matter. Just question everything. That's what I like to tell. That's what I told my kids. Never just do something blindly because someone said to do it.
Yeah.
Think for yourself. Definitely. Because that'll get you pretty far. And I also like something I learned a lot of times on the same thread as thinking. I always say, don't think. No. It's a big difference. Oh, I thought you took the trash out. Well, why don't you look? And no, I took the trash out. Or no, I didn't take the trash out.
Yeah.
I thought you did. Well, now we both know I didn't. So why didn't you take it out? Type of thing, You got to know, not just think things happen. Definitely know. And yeah, stay weird.
Stay weird. Any last thoughts? Any last messages before I cut this off?
Now, when was the last time you saw a polar bear molested by a pope in the middle of Kentucky on Easter Sunday?
You're going to text me tomorrow saying we can't post this episode.
Yeah, you post that one. That's a good one. We all know about polar bears in Catholic Church.
Oh, man. I'm going to delete that part.
You don't have to delete that.
Anyways.
And I highly suggest anybody that wants to quit whatever their drug of choice is, seek therapy and think outside the box when you for the therapy. If you don't have loved ones around you to help you out, or they refuse, or just strictly don't know how to help you out, or refuse to do even the basic Google research on how to help somebody who's quitting whatever their drug of choice is, just there's Where was I going with this? I had somewhere to go with it. I totally lost my train of thought, man. But anyway,
you were talking about therapy.
Yeah, definitely take some kind of, I don't know, go see a doctor, a psych. You know what I mean? You might need something to clear your mind, whatever it was that you need to get out. Maybe you have no one to talk to, and it's easy to talk to a stranger who knows what the fuck is going on to an extent.
Yeah,
that could really kind of guide you and has experience. Because a lot of people try and do it and they don't. They say less than 3% ever stay clean. So out of 100 guys that that I probably met while I was there, only 3 of them will never drink. Not only drink again, but go off the deep end.
Yeah,
and they will. So see what happens.
All right.
But don't get the therapy you need.
Therapy did help me, so now I'm doing this as therapy.
Right.
And it helps.
Yeah. But you have to surround yourself with people who give a fuck.
True.
Right?
True.
And you you can't teach heart. You have to want it. Like baseball players or football players or any sport or career or anything, even as small as wanting to quit whatever your drug of choice is. You have to want it, and if you don't want it, it's not gonna fucking happen. You're gonna find 100 fucking reasons to pick up the bottle or the needle or whatever it is your drug of choice is. It's just there's gonna be 1,000 reasons, and only one reason that is real to not pick it up, and that's taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
Yeah. That's all. I mean, I have plenty more.
Yeah.
Too bad you couldn't edit some of this stuff together, because I'll go off on tangents. I'll be like, hey, there's a bug.
Yeah, no.
And then we can start talking about how tasty bugs are when you put them in tacos that people don't know you put them in their tacos. They're like,
All
what's
right.
the seasoning?
All right, Mike. We got to cut you off, my friend. Anyways, again, Mike, thank you for taking the time to come down. It's been a minute that we talked about you being on the podcast. I mean, we talked about it since the moment you found out I had a podcast, and this was like 3-4 years ago. Thank you for coming by. Again, if you like this podcast episode, please like, share, comment. You can comment on the Spotify message board. You can also text the text line or leave a voice message with any questions, follow up you would like for me to have Mike back on. If there's something I didn't ask him, go ahead and text or leave a voicemail at 818-806-8595. Mike's choking over there. He's dying on the sofa. You okay there?
Wrong hole.
Wrong hole.
That's what she said.
Holy shit, who's this guy? Again, the number is 818-806-8595. Sorry. I think that was 8 times already, Mike. I think that was 8 times.
Yeah, Google that.
You okay there? You okay there, dude? You need water?
No, I'm good.
All right. I also want to give a shout out to a couple podcasts that I've been listening to. Again, Viva con Huevos podcast. They have life stories, life events. They have guests come on talking about life. They also have this segment where they call it Comadreando, Comadre Pal, and people text and give their little story, and then pretty much the listeners criticize what they were saying. Al Grano podcast, us also local boys that are born here now, East LA. I think they're in Arizona now. Same thing, life topics, stories, and then today topics and stuff like that. So give those 2 guys a shout out. I know somebody called me on Thursday, hey, how come you haven't posted any more podcast episodes? I might have been busy, sorry. So I gave her the suggestion to go listen to Viva con Huevos or Al Grano podcast. But again, thank you guys for listening. Again, if you like this podcast episode, please, or any of my other podcast episodes, please like, share, review. And again, I'm going to give that number again, 818-806-8595. Shoot me a text or a voice message, and with a suggestion or follow-up questions. And and then I'm gonna let Mike sign us off. Like I end every podcast, Mike. Thank you for riding with me. All right.
All right. Good night.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.